Hi, my name is Jeff Stanbaugh, and I'll be your instructor for the graduate class in entrepreneurship. Let me introduce myself to you briefly. I've been at Midwestern for a little over 6 years now. I teach business strategy and entrepreneurship. I've got a wonderful wife, Tree. We've been married for over 27 years, which is a testament to her ability to put up with a lot of stuff. I have two kids. Ben is my oldest, he's 18, and Anna is 13. As far as my background, I graduated about a million years ago from the U.S. Air Force Academy with a degree in aeronautical engineering. I then launched off into a 24-year career in the Air Force of flying fighters and commanding troops, and that was a wonderful experience. Educationally, along the way, I picked up a totally forgettable night school master's degree. So if you're going to tell me you don't know what it's like to go to school and work, well, yeah, I do. And it's been a long time ago, but I remember that it wasn't easy. So I'm definitely sympathetic toward you that are trying to juggle multiple things. When I left the Air Force, I struggled with, well, what do I want to do with the rest of my life? And to get to the end of the story, I decided this is what I wanted to do. After I retired, I went to Lubbock, Texas, to Texas Tech University and earned a PhD in business strategy and entrepreneurship. As far as my hobbies, I told you I was a pilot in the Air Force. I still love to fly. I'm part owner of a light airplane. I actually ran a small flight school on the side with that airplane for about 3 years. Enjoyed it tremendously, but it took a lot of time and was taking more family time than I wanted. So about a year ago, I stopped doing that. And I am passionate about teaching business and teaching entrepreneurship. And let me tell you just a little bit why. Uh, I came from what I would describe as a family of employees. My parents both worked for large corporations. We had a relatively a large extended family with lots of aunts and uncles where I grew up. They all worked for large corporations. And so I was never exposed to this idea of somebody owning and operating their own business when I was growing up. And then I went into the Air Force, and obviously that's a very big organization, and I didn't have a lot of exposure to people going off and doing their own thing. Although I found out after the fact that I actually got to do some things in the Air Force that were pretty entrepreneurial in their own sense, and I'll talk about that more just a little bit later. So then I went through my whole life, and I have to tell you, mentally, to me, entrepreneurs were superhumans. They were Superman and Superwoman. What they accomplished launching and growing, being successful, it was just incredible. And even though when I retired from the Air Force, that's what I really wanted to do, to be honest with you. I was retiring from the Air Force to try to slow my life down a little bit and have a more stable atmosphere for my kids who were still pretty young then. So that wasn't in the cards. But I have to tell you, deep in my heart, I wanted to do that, but I didn't think I could because I wasn't Superman. I got some very good advice when I was entering the PhD program. Someone said, and he was a retired military guy like me, said, you're going to want to focus on entrepreneurship because it's the closest thing to the command opportunities you've had in the Air Force. And I found out he was right. That one of the neatest things about entrepreneurship is that you get to be in charge and you are responsible for everything. And you feel like you're on an island, even in big organizations sometimes. Certainly, I had some opportunities in the Air Force where I felt like I was on an island, and my success or failure was largely up to me and how I led the men and women in my organization. And in that sense, it was very entrepreneurial. I also had a lot of challenges in the Air Force where they said, we need you to create this new thing. We don't know what it looks like. Go. And oh, by the way, not that they said this, but in practice, we're going to give you about half of what you really think you need to make it happen. So I found out I had a lot of entrepreneurial opportunities. And I also found out that entrepreneurs really weren't Superman and Superwoman. They were a lot more like me than I realized. And I slowly had my eyes open to the world of opportunity. And through this course, I hope I'm going to open your eyes to that world of opportunity. One of the things I didn't realize, quite frankly, when I was going through that large organization is called the Air Force, is how much money some of these people running relatively small organizations make. There are many small businesses in Wichita Falls, 10, 20 employees, maybe 30 employees, where the owner, the entrepreneur, is making 200, 300, 400, $1 million a year. And I didn't realize, to be honest with you, just how much of the spoils went to the business owner. And so that was something also that got me interested in entrepreneurship, just this idea that one person can enjoy so much success for stepping out and trying. So I am passionate about what we're going to be doing in this course, because through my studies, I've learned things in my 40s and now in my 50s that have opened my eyes. And to be honest with you, if I was your age when I learned them, my life would have been different. I loved what I did in my first career, and I wouldn't have changed that. I would have done it better because I would have known some things that I didn't know then. And then when I chose to step out and do something else, I probably would have done some other things, because this idea of being a business owner wasn't as hard as I, in my mind, had made it out to be. So I am really excited about this course, and I honestly believe if you dive in with me, you are going to have a life-altering experience. Now, I've already touched on the subject of money once, and there's something I want you to know about me up front that's very important to me. We're going to talk about money a lot in this course, because money is one of the best metrics of entrepreneurial success. Impact is the other, and if you are trying to change the world through your business, then certainly impact is probably more motivational to you than the money aspect, or is a better indication of success than the money impact, or than money. But when we talk about entrepreneurship, because I will talk about almost exclusively the for-profit world, money really is the metric as to who's getting it right, who's got a good opportunity, who's executing it well, versus someone who isn't. But I don't want you to walk away from this course thinking, man, all that Stanbaugh guy thinks about is money, because that's not true. As a dedicated Christian, I believe there's a lot of things, like as in almost everything in life, that's more important than money. But my job in this course is to teach you about entrepreneurship, and the easiest way to frame success in entrepreneurship is about money. I just don't want you to think that that's how I really frame success for your life or for my life. I hope you've gotten to know me a little bit better. We're going to have some opportunities, I hope, for me to get to know you a little bit better and what you're looking for out of this class, besides 3 hours with a minimum of work, which I understand is pretty much what everybody dives into this class looking for. I'll have a series of other videos where I introduce you more to the course and how things are going to work. Join me for those.